Hello. Right now we're going to take a look at how to fix one of the common throttling issues that we might see in Office 365. So in my Office 365 site, I've got this really big list that I'm trying to update the items on. In fact, this has got 95,000 items on this list. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to go through and update the item permissions on each one of those items as I have a new user that's come into my environment and this list has unique permissions. And I don't want to have to manually update all the permissions on each one of those items. However, I have an issue. When I try and go through and update the permissions using this workflow, the workflow encounters a throttling event. So SharePoint is defending itself because I'm trying to do too many things at the same time. So there's a really easy way to get around this. I'm going to jump over to this updated workflow design. And what I'm first going to do is after querying the list, I'm going to go ahead and set this loop counter. So I have a workflow variable and it's a number. I'm going to go ahead and set that equal to 0. And then as I go through, each time that this loop happens, it's going to check and say, does that loop counter equal the number 15? And if it does, then it's going to go ahead and pause the workflow for 5 minutes and then reset the counter to 0. Otherwise, it's just going to update that loop counter by 1. So what this will do is it'll still do this loop and it'll loop through each one of these items, but every 15 loops or every 15 items, it's going to go ahead and pause for 5 minutes. Now I don't have any time crunch on this, and this will make sure that the workflow does not encounter that throttling event because it'll actually reset that counter and the number of interactions that can occur within the site. So a real easy solution to trying to get around this throttling event that we see in SharePoint. You just need to add that loop counter, set it equal to 0, and then every 15 or so times that the loop executes, go ahead and just have the workflow pause for a couple minutes.